What did you accomplish last week? That was the question Elon Musk now famously asked the entire federal workforce in February of 2025. A simple question met with outrage, but also a powerful one. Let's keep the politics out of the mix and talk about the utility of this question from a business owner who runs successful businesses and who's managed to amass a pretty sizable fortune. Let's focus on the question's ability to cut through the noise, eliminate excuses, and be an invitation to accountability. Because in the kitchen, accountability is almost everything. If you've been following along with me, I'm a firm believer that mediocrity thrives in the gray area. Great leadership demands clarity. If you want consistency in execution, a high-performing team, and standards that actually hold, then accountability and checking in on what's getting done by the people that work for you must be built into your operation. In this video, I'll walk you through my approach to cultivating accountability in the kitchen and share why I believe it's a foundation of any successful team. If you're a chef looking to build a team that takes ownership, executes with precision, and looking to eliminate the constant firefighting, then accountability has to be at the core of your leadership. But here's the thing. Accountability isn't just about expectations, it's about process. Having a system that keeps your leaders asking what the team accomplished last week is a productive place to start. Adopting and implementing systems that lead to accountability is exactly how I help chefs like you implement leadership systems that remove confusion, create clarity, and establish standards that lead to excellence that's not just optional, it's the baseline. If you're thinking about building structure for your kitchen in a way that ensures consistency and builds trust and execution, schedule a call with me using the link below in the description, and let's get started. Now, let's get into this. Over the years, I've seen firsthand that accountability isn't about blame. It's about ownership. That's something that I had to learn, and I had to learn the hard way. Now, without clear standards, without clear expectations, the kitchen falls into chaos. A standard that flexes isn't a standard at all, it's barely a suggestion. Now, the best teams don't just meet expectations, they own them. That means every chef, every cook, every team member, every steward knows exactly what they're responsible for. They may not know exactly what they need to be doing at this moment, but they know that it's in their realm of responsibility when it's asked. And more importantly, they're held to that responsibility. The truly exceptional, the self-starters, hold themselves responsible. But that's a small percentage of the workforce. So until then, until we get a full workforce of those, as managers, we need to help them understand their responsibilities. Regular check-ins make that difference. Accountability doesn't happen by accident. It's cultivated. It's got to be built into the DNA of a kitchen and the kitchen's leadership in order to thrive. Now here's how I do it. First, I establish a clear vision of what I want and where I'm taking the team. You see, without a vision, I found that the team is just showing up and it's going through the motions of what they believe that needs to be done. As a leader, it's our responsibility to define what success looks like and learn to share that. In food quality, in service, in communication, in cleanliness, daily execution, in all areas until the team is working toward that vision without guidance. Then it's our job to manage people along that path. Next, we set unwavering standards. Now, a standard that changes is simply a suggestion. It's not a rule, and a standard has to be a rule to be effective. I treat the idea of a standard as a measurement. I don't always meet it, but I'm always working towards it. It's a benchmark. It guides decisions, and it allows people to know where the line in the sand is and how they're going to work towards it. Now, we should be crystal clear about what is acceptable and what isn't, from execution to behavior. There needs to be a clear line of when a standard is met and when it isn't. That's a good test to an effective standard. This doesn't mean being unreasonable. A standard just is. Doesn't have feelings, doesn't have emotions. It's a place that you arrive at. And as long as the standard is not immediately modified when it's challenged or circumstances change, then it's going to support you. A standard that moves creates very turbulent leadership and an almost impossible to manage team. The next step we need to take is to define tasks with clarity. Assigning vague responsibility leads to failure before the tasks even start. So what I would like to recommend is that you use the clarity framework. It's designed to enhance task assignments by ensuring that they're well-defined, actionable, and aligned with leadership and organizational goals. This framework helps leaders delegate effectively while empowering their teams to execute with confidence and precision. So what is this clarity framework? C, clear. Define the task with precise details and explicit expectations. L, logical. Ensure the task fits into the broader workflow and priorities. A, actionable. Assigning tasks to the right person who can complete it and has access to the necessary resources and support. R, relevant. Align the task with organizational goals and key objectives. I, keep it impactful. Clarify the expected outcome and its contribution to success in the bigger picture of the operation. T, keep it time sensitive. Set a realistic deadline with clear, checkable milestones. And then Y, yield. Define success metrics and its impact on the team as a whole. Consider ripples in water. The overall yield of the work that's being done is going to have an overall impact that's greater to the operation. And then encourage continuous improvement. 4, require check-ins and follow-ups. And now this is where Elon set the world on fire. For what reason, I'm not sure, because he's literally just trying to hold workers accountable. And this is the missing piece in so many of the operations that aren't running the way that people would like them to. And I consider these as accountability loops. If you don't check in, you're signaling that the task doesn't matter. So in order to do that, you need to adopt regular debriefs and daily check-ins. Whether it's a shift rundown or a post-service breakdown, or even asking the simple question, what did you accomplish today? What did you get done last week? If you want to shift to a planning mindset, you can ask what you're going to do in the week ahead, and that's when things really start to accelerate in the right direction. But let's keep this one thing at a time right now, right? Remember that success at service is obvious, but we all manage tasks that are beyond the food. Check-ins on ordering, BEOs, schedules, holiday menus, budgets, all benefit when they're moving forward. Check-ins keep us tapped into the team, what they're getting done, and how they're moving things forward. Check-ins are a great opportunity to see if things aren't moving forward and a great opportunity to coach and nudge things in a forward direction. And then finally, lead by example. Accountability starts at the top. If the leadership team doesn't model ownership, then neither is the staff. You got to be the first to hold yourself accountable. I was always told that leaders live in glass houses, and that has stuck to me so clearly. We live in glass houses because people are always watching everything that we do. So I find for me that I have to admit mistakes. I have to be the first one to admit that and own it. I have to hold myself accountable, and I have to set that tone for responsibility. So I like to keep my boss updated. I like to keep a coach updated that helps me stay accountable with the things that I've said that I'm going to do. If you're watching this and you find yourself at a point where you're ready to develop a system of accountability that transforms your team, eliminates the gray area, and elevates your operation, then let's talk. This is the work I do every single day with executive chefs to implement accountability-driven leadership that brings clarity, consistency, and results. If you're ready to structure your kitchen in a way that gives you more control, more efficiency, peace, and more time to lead at the highest level, then schedule a call with me today by clicking the link in the description below. And let's take that first step together in building the leadership systems that create real accountability and lasting success. To me, at scale, great food is the result of great systems. If you're running an operation and you serve 10 covers and there's one of you with maybe one other person helping you, this may not apply. But with bigger teams, it's inevitable. Great systems come from accountability. Not just in the execution of dishes, but in how a kitchen is run, how the team communicates, and how leadership sets the tone. If you're tired of inconsistency, of a team that drifts through the day without urgency, then it's time to shift to a culture of responsibility. Following these 5 steps is going to get you on that path. Because when every person in the kitchen owns their role, the entire operation levels up. If this video resonated with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow chef who needs to hear this message. Thanks for spending the time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.